Lassiter Factor.
What's up, all my movie-loving maniacs? It's your boy Bangfo B of the Lassiter Factor, and today I'm going to talk about Higher Learning, which is celebrating its 30th anniversary this month, and it's directed by one of my favorite filmmakers of all time, the late John Singleton. So let's review. So Higher Learning takes place at this fictional college called Columbus University, and it centers around three college students, and we see how their stories intertwine with each other, and we also see how their experiences at this college changes them for better and worse. Now, like I said, this movie is directed by the late John Singleton, who is one of my favorite filmmakers of all time. He made some of my favorite movies. Well, he made my favorite movie of all time, which is Boys in the Hood. And then after that, he went on to make Poetic Justice. And then after that, Higher Learning. And then after that, he made Rosewood, Baby Boy, Shaft 2000, Too Fast, Too Furious, Four Brothers. And even though Higher Learning isn't particularly one of my favorite John Singleton films, I've always had an appreciation for it, and watching with adult eyes, I have even more of an appreciation for it. And especially in this day and age with the political climate that we're in right now, this movie is even more relevant with all the division going on in the world. And this film is even more relevant because of its themes, because it deals with feminism, lesbianism, finding out who you are as a person, racism, and even white supremacy. Now, out of the three characters that we follow, Christy Swasson's character, her story, I'd say is probably my least favorite, but I think that's mainly because John Singleton, he was dealing with themes with her story that he doesn't have, well, he only had but so much experience with. Her character grew up a bit sheltered, and once she's out in the world by herself, she experiences things that she didn't expect, like she gets sexually assaulted, and then she experiences things about herself that she didn't expect to, like she might be a lesbian. They kind of allude to it, but then she also falls in love with a dude. She begins to have feelings for Jennifer Connelly's character, and she joins this feminist group. And once the school finds out that there is a white supremacy group on the campus, she basically assembles this peace concert. Then you got Omar Epps. He is a track star, and he gets a bit humbled when he gets a partial scholarship because he keeps coming to practice late. He also gets a bunch of reality checks too. And he's taken up under the wing of Fudge, who is played by Ice Cube, who John Singleton worked with on Boys in the Hood. And this is probably one of my favorite Ice Cube characters because, one, he reminds me of someone I know, one of my good homies. This is basically college him, but basically Ice Cube's character Fudge, he is essentially a pro-black person. He does not like white people, and rightfully so at times. But Fudge, he just sees the world for what it truly is. But on the other side of that coin, you have someone that is pro-black, but he's a little bit more level-headed, and he's not, and he doesn't care if you're black, white, female, Mexican, Spanish, Asian, Indian, lesbian, whatever. He just wants the best for everybody. But he's like your typical college professor that asks you to question the knowledge, and that was basically the theme that came up at the end: is unlearn what you already know. Then you also got Remy, who does become a white supremacist, and he's played by Michael Rappaport, which is one of the funniest white actors I've known. If you've seen some of his stuff online, you know how funny he is. But it's just funny watching him this young. I'm like, damn, that's Michael Rappaport. But like I said, he's a bit awkward. He's from Idaho. He's trying to find his place, and he's very impressionable, hence why he joins the Nazis. And then eventually he snaps and starts calling everybody out of the name and starts calling everybody racial slurs. And then he starts a massacre during the peace concert. Some other casts include Regina King, who is also a frequent collaborator of John Singleton. Busta Rhymes, who is probably the most hilarious character in this movie. Is like basically while everybody was here, Busta Rhymes, he was all the way over here. And one of my favorite scenes in this movie is when all the black characters they fight the Nazis on the campus, and just the way the punches sound, I always crack up. Tyra Banks, who is the love interest of Malik in this movie. And finally, you got Cole Hauser, who is the head supremacist within the group, and he's played by Cole Hauser, who John Singleton would later work again with in Too Fast, Too Furious, which is also quite fascinating. Now, obviously, this is not a perfect movie. I mean, John Singleton, he tried to juggle a lot of things within this movie, but for what it's worth, I think it was still an effective film. And like I said, this movie is probably even more relevant today given the climate that we are in right now. If you have not seen this film, I highly recommend it. I'm going to give Higher Learning the heart eyes emoji. Happy 30th anniversary. Thank y'all so much for watching. Have you seen this movie? If so, let me know what you think in the comment section below and tell me if you think that this movie still holds up today. This your boy Bankful B of the Lassiter Factor. Stay safe, wash your hands, peace.